Boys, I will now explain some open ended questions. Number one, explain the statement: we have got this earth planet on lease from our future generations and not as an ancestral property from our ancestors. The above statement refers to the fact that the earth belongs to everyone, from our ancestors to our future generations. The planet Earth should be protected and conserved in the same way as by our ancestors, so that it can be passed on to our future generations. If we exploit the resources, it would lead to the destruction of life on earth. We have no right to exploit it, as we are not the actual owners of this beautiful earth. It is the future generations that will have to live on this land after our generation ends. We are not the actual owners, so we have to protect it as the next generation has to survive. We have to hand over this planet Earth in perfect balance. They also need good quality of air, water, and land with all other living organisms. We are using all natural resources as much as possible in an attempt to live a satisfactory life. We are snatching from nature as much as possible, and this leads to an increase in problems. For example, the tiger and lion is now a vulnerable species. That is, it may become extinct, and it is likely that our future generations may not get to see them. Boys, we will now discuss in short about the Chipko movement of Bishnoi. The Chipko movement was a forest conservation movement in India. It began in 1970s in Uttarakhand, then a part of Uttar Pradesh, at the foothills of the Himalayas. The Hindi word Chipko means to hug or to cling to. The two main objectives behind the movement were to prevent the construction of private mills in the forest area and to protect the forest from the process of deforestation. The movement was initiated by Sundarlal Bahuguna, a noted environmentalist. His slogan was, "Ecology is permanent economy." With the help from a local NGO, the women of that area went into the forest, formed a circle round the trees, protecting them from the men who came to cut down the trees, as the trees were considered sacred by the community. They were known as Kejri trees. The movement was inspired by a true story of a brave lady, Amrita Devi Bishnoi, who refused to allow the king's men to cut the trees. her head was severed. Seeing her, her daughters clung to them. Their heads were severed too. Agitated by the happenings, the neighboring village folk clung to the trees as the massacre continued. More than 300 people were killed for non-obedience and for trying to protect the trees. When the king came to know of this, he was ashamed of his mistake. He apologized to the community and ordered to stop felling the trees and hunting of wild animals within the boundaries of the community. This movement paved the way for many such environmental movements in the country. Boys, certain symbols will be shown. We will discuss the meanings of the symbols or logos and our role accordingly. Number 1, this symbol represents recycle, meaning we must use objects which can be recycled. You may have heard the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. All this helps to cut down on the amount of waste we throw away. They conserve natural resources, landfill space, and energy. We can also make use of biodegradable materials, that is, they are easily decomposed by soil bacteria into organic and safe waste material. Recycle today for a better tomorrow. Number 2, save water. Any of these 2 symbols can represent save water. Water, as you know, is the elixir of light. It is wonderful when we don't waste it. Sustainable use of water is necessary for our future. Water is precious. Every drop of water counts. Saving water is as easy as turning off a tap. Saving water means saving energy. Conserving water is glorious future for us. When the wells dry, we know the worth of water. Number 3, solar energy. Solar energy is a renewable source of energy. Light and heat from the sun is converted into electricity. It is good for the environment, that is, it is eco-friendly, no pollution problem. It reduces the need for finite resources. It slashes our electricity bill by 50%. When energy is coming from the sun, why are we digging the earth? Number 4, tidy man. This means do not litter. Litter is not only dirty but may carry germs. Therefore, it must be disposed carefully and thoughtfully. It will help to keep our community clean. We must always remember our surrounding is not a trash can. If we litter, we are rubbish. Remember, to be a good citizen, we must dispose waste in the most appropriate manner. So be a hero and pop your waste into the bin. Number 5, save energy. Energy can be saved by reducing wastage, losses, and improving efficiency. We can save energy by turning off lights or appliances when not needed. We can replace traditional bulbs by halogen bulbs, compact fluorescent lights called CFLs, or light emitting diode bulbs called LEDs. They are expensive but have a long lifespan. Today's wastage is tomorrow's shortage. The last symbol for this lesson is go green, use a bicycle. Bicycles are as good for the air we breathe as they are for our bodies. They ease pollution problems. Cycling relieves stress, burns calories, not fuels. That is, it runs on our fat, not fuel. Be an environment hero. Ride a bicycle. Cycling 10 kilometers each way would save 1,500 kgs of greenhouse gas emission each year. East or west, going green is the best. Remember, boys, natural sources are the biggest legacy we can leave for the generations to follow. The world is in our hands. Celebrate Earth Day every day.